there's anything that has thrown this country into collective confusion, it is the new tax laws. From the alleged alterations to the rumored suspension to the enforcement power, council statements, and the silence where clarity should be. What was announced as a routine fiscal reform has now become a national puzzle, and Nigerians have the right to ask questions. So, let's walk through the latest developments slowly and clearly. But first, the backstory. In December 2025, amended tax laws were passed and signed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with implementation dates of January 1st, 2026. The government explained this as a part of a broader effort to improve revenue collection, expand the tax base, and reduce leakages. So on the surface, this sounds normal. Every government needs revenue. But shortly after, something unsettling emerged. Members of the House of Representatives, particularly the minority caucus, confirmed that the version of the tax laws now circulating contains provisions they say were never debated or approved during the legislative process. So, in simple terms, lawmakers are saying this is not what we passed. And that is where the confusion begins. And that is where the danger also lies. So let's explain the adjusted parts one by one in everyday simple terms. So one of the most controversial alleged insertions is the granting of sweeping powers to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, which includes the ability to arrest individuals or seize assets without a court order. So let's simplify this. Removing the court oversight gives so much power to one office. It means that the same tax authority can accuse you, judge you, and punish you all by itself. So imagine one person as the police, the judge, and the prison officer all at once. So there is no neutral referee, no opportunity to explain yourself. And so that is why everybody is alarmed, because rules exist to protect everyone, especially when government power is involved. Another major adjustment in the new tax law is reported reduction of the business reporting threshold from 50 million naira to 25 million naira. So let's explain what this means in simple terms. So before now, the threshold for business was 50 million naira. So small businesses were largely shielded, not because they shouldn't pay tax, but because the system recognized that they were still growing and could not easily absorb every compliant cost. That 50 million naira threshold gave small businesses room to breathe. Now, by lowering the threshold to 25 million naira, the net widens significantly. In effect, businesses that are still learning how to work will now be asked to run. And that is why the concern is not just about revenue collection, it's about timing, capacity, and fairness. So, expanding the new tax net without considering economic realities does not strengthen the economy, it strains it. Another reported adjustment is the introduction of petroleum related taxes denominated in US dollars. So, instead of paying certain oil related taxes in naira, the government wants them paid in US dollars. Now, why is this a problem? Dollar rate changes almost every day. So imagine this. Today, $1 is 1,200 naira. Your tax is manageable. Tomorrow, $1 jumps to 1,500 naira. Your tax just increased even though your business did not grow. Nothing changed in your operations, nothing changed in your profit, but your tax bill went up overnight. That means businesses cannot plan properly, and so costs get pushed down the line. So, in simple terms, this exposes businesses to exchange rate shocks they cannot control. At the end of the day, this kind of provision affects fuel pricing, it affects downstream operators, and ultimately the consumers. Because this is not a small technical change, it is a structural shift, and the one the lawmakers insist was not openly debated. At the end of all this, The biggest damage is not even the tax itself, it is the confusion because a country cannot function when citizens, businesses, and even lawmakers are unsure which version of the law is real. Where there is no trust that laws passed today will still be the same laws tomorrow. Because when people no longer trust the system, businesses hesitate to invest, citizens assume the worst, and governance turn into constant firefighting. And this is why trust matters, because a country is built on a shared understanding of rules. And when those rules become confusing or disputed, the foundation begins to crack quietly but steadily. It is a truth at a time. Take care and have a nice day.